that's just Eric announcing the beginning of the video. Hello. Do let me know if you're there, people, because I'm using a new system this morning. So if it's not working, give me a shout. Hopefully I'm there with all of the problems that I've had with the webcams over the past few weeks. I'm trying a different system today. So if I'm looking like that, it's because I've got the camera in front of me and the questions coming up on the screen to the side. So good morning, Sue. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Sylvie. Good morning, Jess. Good morning, Susie. Good morning, Martina. New setup today. I'm on my phone after all of the webcams dying on me. Good morning, Lani. Good morning, Trudy. Good morning, Helen. Working from home today. Yes, we're working from home. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Rachel. Just going to wrap the dog up now. Let's put your blanket on. Now that you've barked at all the pigeons. Been an exhausting morning already. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Sue. Good morning, Xenia. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Friday again. How mad is that? I can't believe it is Friday actually already. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Julie from snowy Yorkshire. We don't have snow here yet. Well, we're down south and we're by the sea, so we don't very often get snow. But it is very cold this morning, very cold indeed. Good morning to Pete and Eric. Yes, Pete and Eric here. Pete's working, Eric's sitting beside me. Martina, not watched me for a while. Yes, different view behind me. I've moved my desk round. So do have fun with your mum, Sue. Go and have fun with your mum. Far more important. Got to get your priorities right. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, everyone. I'm just getting used today to, I've got two screens on the go today, so multitasking. Good morning, Kerry. Good morning, Jane. Lots of people in today. Yes, I know. Fantastic. You guys are absolutely fabulous. It is so much fun to spend Friday mornings with you. Good morning, Jenny. Just looking at the dog, make sure he's behaving himself. Good morning, Tess. Tess has snow too. Yeah, it is really cold here. I doubt we'll get snow because we don't very often, but it is very cold. Definitely a snuggle up on the sofa with a book and a big mug of hot chocolate, I reckon. Sounds like a plan to me anyway. So yes, good morning, welcome. As always, if you've got any questions, pop them on the comments. With my new system and my new setup, hopefully I won't miss them. It's all a bit trial and error this morning. Any questions at all about me, about witchcraft, about books, about anything, cake, probably not, quantum physics or anything. Probably wouldn't be able to answer that. Definitely wouldn't be able to answer that actually. But we'll see where we go. Do comment, do put any insights, any thoughts, questions as we go. I'll just have a quick swig. Good morning, Ellen. My husband's holding signs up to me. He's saying it looks all right. That's good. That's good. As long as it's working, that's all. Good morning, Debbie. Yeah, as long as it all works, that's all we need, really. So this morning, bit of a different one, bit of an interesting one. Some of you know, some of you don't. We lost a family member last week, and I know several other people that are in the same situation or have been recently. So I thought this morning that I would tackle grief. Not from any other viewpoint than a magical one, drawing on curative magic my book, obviously, Mon Livre, which has a chapter about grief in it. So I thought I'd cover some of that this morning. Susie has found a new hobby and it has her so engrossed she's lapsed on her witchy stuff. You need some inspiration. Susie, do it. No, if you've found something that's got you passionate about it, then don't worry about it. It'll all fall into place. Don't beat yourself up about it if you haven't been witchy for a little while. It'll all fall into place. It will all fall into place. Jane said the book came out back to front. Yes, I think that's the only problem with using the mobile phone as a camera. Things do come out reversed, which is quite freaky. It's like Alice through the looking glass. So yeah, that we have to deal with that. But yes, anyway, I thought I'd deal with grief from the magical point of view. Now, bear in mind as well that grief comes in many forms. It's not just the loss of a person. It could be the loss of a pet. It could be the loss of anything really. A friendship, a relationship, something you used to do that's it's a loss basically. Grief is described as an overwhelming feeling of sadness and sorrow basically. It can be brought on by the loss or the ending of many different things. But grief can also then lead to shock, anger, guilt, tiredness, exhaustion, along with all the aches and pains and all the physical stuff as well. And it can also, severe grief can also lead to anxiety as well. So it kind of brings on a lot of other stuff as well. But it does cover all sorts of things. Thank you, everyone. But yeah, there's a way of dealing with it in your own time. I think time is one of the best healers for grief, and I think it's also important to remember that grief's not the same for everyone. There is no time frame, there's no list, there's no rules that say this is how long you have to take. It's very, very personal. Take your time and allow healing to happen at the pace that it needs to happen. Eventually there will come a point when you want to move forward, and magic can help you learn to move past the grief. I would never, ever suggest that you forget, just that you allow yourself to live and to step into the next part of your journey with hope and happy memories, basically. Unexpectedly lost one of my dogs, just before Christmas, and it's been hard. Yeah, it is to have people round you as well to help does really help. But I'm not bringing it down on everything today. It's one of those things that happens. But I wanted to sort of talk about how you can help yourself through it with magic, because there are an awful lot of options that you can work with. The book, the Curative Magic book, the back to front Curative Magic book, has lots and lots of options, but it doesn't just cover grief. It covers all sorts of things: anxiety and stress and panic attacks and all the nasty stuff that magic can help with. I think as witches, as pagans, as druids, whatever you want to call yourself, we're actually quite lucky in that we do have a toolkit to draw upon. We have that magical toolkit, we have that skill set to draw on, which perhaps gives us a bit of an advantage over mere mortals, other people, whatever you want to call them, non-magical folk.
Muggles.
Not muggles, yeah, no, I don't like that word somehow, I don't know why. Non-magic folk. Because we can draw on all of their magical skills, witch's tool bag if you like, to help us through any of these emotions and feelings that we have to deal with. So let's have a look at some suggestions. There are affirmations. I often think affirmations are seen a little bit as a bit airy-fairy and new agey, but they do work. Words have power. We know that words have power because we use them in air spell work. So they do have power behind them. So being mindful of how you speak or how you talk about things is quite important, I think. Jane says, just knowing death is not the end but part of our journey is a great help. Absolutely. And I think perhaps as pagans we do have that as an advantage too, that we do see beyond, which can help. But yeah, thinking about the way you say things, affirmations are useful. I will remember that my life is for living. I will live life to the fullest. I am allowed to grieve. My life is precious and I am important. It does sound a little bit textbook. It does sound a little bit Meals and Boons, if you like. But it is power. You know, if you continually say terrible things about yourself or run yourself down or say things that run yourself down, then you are going to start believing it. If you build yourself up, if you use positive words, then it really, really will help. Good morning, Caroline. Maria lost 2 people either end of Christmas. There's been a lot. There has been, and obviously with the big no-no situation, as my children call it, the COVID situation, there's a lot of people that we've lost. Jane, I'd never knock affirmations. They actually helped me build bridges in my brain to fix the damage from my first breakdown. Yeah, it's power. Words are really powerful. I think if you look at how you say things, we quite often say, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I'm no good at that. I mean, sometimes it's true. I can't sing to save my life. And it doesn't matter how many affirmations I say, I'm never going to be able to sing. So there are some things that you can't solve with affirmations. But, you know, if you continue to say, oh, I look dreadful in that, oh, I can't do that, then you are going to start believing it. It's about changing your mindset and the way that you say things. Definitely. Karen says, I have to think much more now before I say things, as I had a brain injury which wrecked my filters. Sometimes it's funny, others it's not. Yeah, it's about knowing yourself as well, isn't it? And how you can deal with it. Susie, is it possible to grieve your own death as I feel I do? I think it is mindset again. I think you can grieve different stages of your life, definitely. I'm obviously no longer a maiden. Do I grieve that? I suppose I did at some point, not so much now. But yeah, when you turn the big ages, I think you probably do grieve a little bit for ages that have gone, your younger self. But it is a way, I think, of looking forward. And affirmations can help you with that. They really can. Definitely. So affirmations, think about what you say, think about how you say it. And for those of you that know me, you know I like to work with colour. Colour magic, I think, is one of the important skills, tools in my magical bag. Question would be, if you saw grief as a colour, what colour would you see it? Jane says, I had a strong moment of grief when I realised I'd hit the menopause. Yeah, the menopause is a whole other talk, and we are going to be doing a proper chat on the menopause from a magical point of view. We're going to bring the gang in, and we will do a proper talk about the menopause, as I'm still dealing with it 7 years into it now. Believe me, I won't have any grief when it finishes. When I actually come out the other side, I'm going to have a party. Definitely. Karen, I read a quote recently. If you believe you can or believe you can't, you're right. Yeah, self-talk right there. Yes, and that's absolutely it. Words have power, and you can talk yourself into something, and you can talk yourself out of something as well. I've got a very squeaky chair here. All I can hear is the chair squeaking. Karen grieved at 30, but turned out my life changed for the better. Yes, I mean, I'd love to have the body I had when I was 25, but I don't think I'd want to be without all of the experience and knowledge that I've gained since then now. I like the person I am better now. So it is a different way of looking about it. Jane just got her thermostat back after 17 years. I can wear jumpers again now. Thankfully I haven't suffered so much from the sweats, but yeah, it does happen. Menopause is not fun, but we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that another day when we can delve right into it. But yes, colour. If you could see grief's colour, what colour would you see it? And there is no right or wrong answer here, because colour magic, I think, is very personal. And it will vary from person to person. I think personally, for any negative emotion or issue that I want to release, I see black as a good colour to work with, but white equally, because it's a good neutral colour. But I think perhaps grief for me as a colour would be transparent, kind of empty and void, perhaps no colour at all. Sue says grey. Yeah, I think that one works as well. It is quite dreary, isn't it? It's quite a dreary colour, although grey apparently is very trendy in the house paint and colour scene at the moment. Yeah, Susie says dark grey too. Maria says white or purple. Yeah. Joanne, do you think resisting menopause causes it to be longer? We lean away and it's all disappearing there. It's all disappearing up the screen. We lean away from it because it's associations with our culture valuing youth, perhaps. Yeah, I think menopause does need to be dealt with more openly, definitely. So that, for a start, people don't think that they're on their own. You know, one of those things, really. But yeah, we will delve into that. Brown, says Christine. Colour of the earth we all return to. Yeah, nice. Sylvie says purple too. Michelle, dark grey. Yeah. I'm losing all the comments now. Jane, I think grief goes through a spectrum of colours, starting with black grey and working through to pastels as it gets easier, then back to primary colours that we feel able to let it go. Perfect. Yes, I like that description a lot, Jane. That is perfect. In fact, to counteract the grey or the transparent or the black of grief, I would suggest bringing in the colours of the rainbow, because you can balance it out. You can work with those brighter colours to bring it back in. Karen said I look very good. Thank you. I have actually lost some weight. I have been healthy eating after all of the cake that I was eating during lockdown. But yeah, I think it is, colour magic for me is very personal. So you've got to work with the colours that it means to you. To release it, work with the colour that you think it reminds you of, black, grey, purple, whatever colour it might be. But to counteract it, to bring in some balance, to beat it, if you like, then I would certainly bring in the colours of the rainbow, because that works for me. Maria has put on 4 dress sizes since I started the menopause. But I'm post-menopause now and still this size. It takes a while. Yeah, I put on weight. I put on weight with it as well, Maria. It's one of those things. Jane, well done on losing weight. Any tips? Oh, I joined Weight Watchers. No, you know, my hubby and I both joined Weight Watchers September last year. Absolutely brilliant. Couldn't have done it on our own. We needed some guidance. But I think it's also about being happy the shape and the size that you are. We did it for health reasons, not size reasons. You've got to be happy with the shape and size that you are, but you've also got to be healthy. So, you know, very personal, very personal. So that's colour. There are, of course, my favourites, lots of herbs for magical use. Susie is being tested for early onset menopause, so asking for tips soon. Yeah, we will do a chat on it, because there's the whole perimenopause thing, which is what I'm still dealing with. Lizzie, colour of grief for me is blood red. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yep, definitely. I can understand that. Karen, it's health we want to lose it for. Yeah, you've got to be healthy. Yeah, Debbie did Weight Watchers and lost 2 stone. Well done, Debbie. Brilliant. But you've got to want to do it. You can't do it because someone tells you to do it. You can't do it because someone else says, oh, you need to lose weight. You've got to do it for yourself. So that goes with anything, I think. But particular herbs to combat grief. I need some coffee. For magical use, I'm not talking about actually eating them. These are for magical use. So bergamot is a good one. Carnation's really, really healing, so that one's brilliant. Cypress, hypericum, which is really, really good again for healing. He just popped on us in the subject, so I'm going to duck out again. My grief is too raw to talk about. Yeah. No. When you're ready, Debbie, come back to it, because you know, it's about helping. It's about helping you deal with it. Am I back? Am I working? She says, hopefully. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself. I'm back. Good. Right. Where were we? Herbs. Right. I hate this whole Wi-Fi situation, but there you go. Anyway, Hypericum, one of the very good herbs. Poppy is also really good. Poppy, very traditional for helping with grief. Self-heal, another plant that's really good. Thyme, really good. Thyme is really good. Michelle, should we reboot the page? If you can see me and it's working, then you're all good. It's my internet connection playing up, unfortunately. And witch hazel is another really good one to work with. So long as I'm actually talking and you can see me and I'm not just, you know, waffling onto myself, we're all good. There's also some foods to combat grief. Now, these ones can be used magically or eaten. So you can make them into herbal teas, or you can add them to your foods. So black pepper is a really good one. Cardamom, one of my favourite flavours. So yeah, I can see you pictures good again. Yeah, apologies people, I'm trying different options. This one I hoped would work, but there you go. Cloves, another one of my favourites. That's really good as well. Garlic, obviously, because that's really good for banishing stuff. Jane says, Hypericum self-seeding in our lawn. My friend Mandy told me we don't find herbs, they find us. Yeah, if we have a need, the right herb will pop up where we can find it. Absolutely. That's Mother Nature working at her best. But yeah, garlic's really good because obviously it dispels and it clears. So that's really good to work with. Lavender, another one that's really good. Air element, so it's cleansing and refreshing, and that clears stuff out. Lemon is really good as well. I think a lot of the citrus ones are, lemon and orange, all really good for clearing stuff out. And citrusy ones as well are quite uplifting, so they're really good to kind of lighten the mood and bring some positive energy in. Marjoram's really good as well, really good for healing and for uplifting. Poppy seeds, good to eat as well, so you eat the energy of the poppy, which is all about grief, remembrance. Very good to work with. And randomly, rhubarb. Rhubarb's actually one of my favourites, but it is really good to eat to help combat with the grief. I think it's got that kind of sharp citrusy, hasn't it? So it is quite uplifting. Christine was once told, and I know it's grim, that the herb that could have healed you will grow on your grave. Yes, I've heard that one too. That's a bit kind of locking the stable after the horse has bolted kind of thing. Jane says cardamom and fennel is great with an ordinary tea bag to make a settling cuppa after a meal. Yes, fennel in particular is really good for settling your digestion, isn't it? We're a bit late though. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Definitely a bit late. Right, so that's foods and that's herbs. I think making a herbal tea blend is quite nice. It can help soothe. Obviously I need one now. Black tea, good old cup of tea. I mean, that's the British answer to everything, isn't it? Whatever happens, house falls down, tornado, end of the world, put on the kettle, have a cup of tea, it'll all be all right. But black tea does actually have that magical energy to soothe things and to calm things down and to help things seem a little bit better. Cardamom again, very good, and cloves, chai tea basically, black tea, cardamom, cloves, chuck a bit of ginger in there, you're sorted. Jane says tea is the elixir of life. There you go. Lavender tea does taste a little bit like soap water, but if you like it, drop a few lavender buds into your cup, your normal cup of black tea, and it will give that sort of soothing, calming. Sonia says tea is love, love understands. Definitely. Lemon tea, you can drop a slice of lemon into your normal black tea, or you can actually just make lemon tea with slices of lemon, or with lemon balm. Handful of lemon balm's very nice too. Marjoram tea, interesting one, not my personal favourite, but very healing. Orange tea is interesting. Do the same as you would with a cup of lemon tea. Drop some slices of orange in it instead. And thyme works well in tea combinations as well. Mix it up, basically. Mix it up and try different things. It doesn't even have to be in with just hot water. You can add crushed cardamoms and cloves to warm milk, which is lovely. Lizzie says linden and lemon verbena tea is good for relieving anxiety and is very soothing. Very nice. Lani says blackberry tea is lovely. Xenia likes lavender tea. You can keep the lavender tea, Xenia. I'll let you have that. Also, black tea with rose. Yeah, I'm not good with the flowery ones. It does taste a little bit like, you know, Granny's knicker drawer to me. But there you go. Michelle has sassafras. I haven't had that. I love the word sassafras. That's a brilliant word. I've not had it. Christine has rooibos. Yeah, that's quite nice too. I don't mind a bit of that. I'm just going to put the screen up here so that I don't miss everybody's comments. Yeah, I think it's personal taste as well, isn't it? And it's about experimenting and mixing and chucking stuff in and see what works for you. I do have a suggestion for a little kind of everyday exercise, not a ritual or a spell as such, but a nice thing to do anyway, but something that may help you get through things. So keep a nice big pretty jar or a box somewhere visible. Lizzie says you could use the dried orange slices we made during the recent holiday in the tea. Yeah, dried orange slices, brilliant. Jane likes a blend of Yorkshire and PG tips. Good old Yorkshire tea and PG tips, brilliant. Xenia likes rhubarb too. Yes, now keep a nice big jar, box, something pretty, but somewhere visible. At the end of it each day, write something on a slip of paper that's made you happy. Good morning, Barbara from Indiana. It's probably not morning over there for you though, is it? So at the end of each day, write something on a slip of paper that's made you happy. Doesn't have to be a big event. It could just be finding your favourite cake at the baker's. That always makes me happy. Seeing the first flower of spring, or even just being excited or happy to crawl into bed at the end of a very long day. It doesn't have to be anything very complicated at all. But write down something that's made you smile or something that's made you feel good, even if someone just held the door open for you, and write it on a slip of paper and pop it in your box. If you've lost someone or some animal, pet, whatever, write a favourite memory about them. Something that might have popped into your head that day, or something that you remembered about them. And remember to include positive thoughts about yourself too. Write down when you made someone else happy, or you did something you were proud of. Again, need only be small. Even if you just managed to get out of bed and get dressed that day, write it down and pop it in the box. And then when you're having a bad day, or if you just want to start the day off on a positive note, randomly take one of the memories out of the box or the jar and read it. Refold it, pop it back in the jar. Refer back to your jar of happiness whenever you need to. So it's about collectively. It could be just to keep you going. It could be to boost your self-esteem. It could be just to put a smile on your face every day. But write down everything, even the tiniest things, memories or thoughts you have, or things that happened to you, or things that made you smile or made you happy. Or memories of your favourite pet, or whatever. Write them down and put them in your box or your jar. And then if you want to just start each day on a positive note, you could pull something out and read it. Maria's a Tetley girl. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? How many different black teas all taste different. Karen has painted my dog. I painted my dog when I lost her, and it helped me grieve as I cried so much, but felt much better when I'd finished it. You've got to do what works for you. You have got to do what works for you. But I like the happiness jar anyway, because it's a good way of recording and keeping a record of all the good things that happened, and also giving yourself a boost as well. Jane could write a whole book about late and legendary ginger cat Trevor. I love the name for the cat. Just thinking about his crazy life makes me smile. Passed in 2012 and I still miss him terribly. Yeah, pets have a very strong effect on us, don't they? Definitely. And that's memories that keep them alive, and memories that make you smile. You have to get to that point though. You know, it's got to be the right time. As I say, grief is personal, so, you know, take your time and work with it when you're ready. Also crystals, lots of crystals you can work with to help you. Magical spells, carry them with you, meditate with them, leave them around the house. Remember to charge the crystal with your intent before use and cleanse it afterwards. But there's lots that you can work with, and I have my show and tell here. Jane says he's been back to visit a couple of times. Yep, animal spirits are always interesting to pick up on. So one of the most useful crystals is amethyst. Get that in the view. It dispels sadness and grief, so perfect. Another one is ametrine, which I haven't got one of, which is a combination between amethyst and citrine. Combines the soothing of amethyst and the happiness of citrine, and it helps you to move forward. Patchy tear is another one. Gently cleanses grief and brings acceptance. Aquamarine, which is very good. It can help release grief, so it's spot on basically. Lani, patchy tear is great for processing grief. Yeah, absolutely. It helps you bring acceptance as well. So as you're right, haven't got that one either. I am missing some. Need to go crystal shopping. As you're right, heals, transforms, and brings understanding. So brilliant for processing it. Celestite, which is here, nice piece there, helps relieve sadness, and it brings a happy energy with it as well. Fire opal, which I have a piece in a rock here. Mexican fire opal. That's that little bit there. One of my all-time favourites, Mexican fire opal. Helps heal grief and also allows you to move forward. Debbie says, "Yay to crystal shopping." Yeah, we need to get back so that we can go shopping again. Obsidian, very, very good one. It's perfect for working through emotions and unpleasant experiences, and it also helps bring transformation. So that's a really good one to work with too. Lapis Lazuli, which is a good one to say. Get in the camera. Lani says pink kunzite helps with the loss of love in all forms. Thank you, brilliant. Christine says I have hundreds of crystals, but during lockdown I feel I need to go and find one. I can't wait to find it. Yeah, me too. Maria, miss seeing all the stalls with crystals and other lovelies. Yeah, me too. But lapis lazuli works on a really, really deep level, and it helps to heal wounds. So that's a really useful one to work with. Ness, hello Ness. Ness says unakite is good too. That's one of my favourites. Larimar, which I've also got in my necklace, my pixie made necklace. Larimar brings peace and joy. So that's a really, really nice, happy, calm but happy crystal to work with. Debbie has a thing about amethyst. I don't like it. I've tried to, but just cannot seem to connect with it. And I love lapis. There will always be crystals that you get on with and ones that you don't. I think crystals are like people. There's some people that you instantly connect with. There are others that you take a while to get used to. And there are others that you just can't stand to be with. And for me, it's because every single crystal has its own personal energy. So they are like people. So you're going to get, I don't get on with hematite. I cannot work with hematite. It is far too heavy and oppressive for me. So there will always be some that you get on with and some that you don't. Christine's given me one to pronounce. Petrocite is supposed to be the death crystal. I was told once that it holds the gold key to get into heaven. Ooh. That's if you want to get into heaven, obviously. I suspect I'm going to the other place. But that's a good one to make me say. Thank you for that. Another one to work with is malachite, one of my favourites. Jane says, I feel drawn to turquoise and garnet, don't know why. Research their properties, Jane, and see what it is that they are, what reason it is. There'll be a reason, and see what resonates with you. Lizzie says, time is a healer, but I know losing 3 family members, my health and my home 11 years ago has left me with some form of PTSD. Yeah, undoubtedly. Really difficult to manage. I've got to swap over here to read it all. Really difficult to manage, but I do it by focusing on the small positive things and allowing myself to go with the flow when I'm having difficulties. I'll try the crystals. Do try them, Lizzie, but your way of thinking is perfect. I'm not a medical professional, I don't know, but that seems to make sense to me, you know. But there is a lot of magic that you can use to help. So if you've got the skills, use them. Absolutely. Malachite, very, very good. Helps heal the heart and it allows you to grieve fully. So that one is malachite's very pretty, says Tess. Is it always green or different colours? I think it's always green. I'm sure Ness or Lani will confirm that for me, but as far as I'm aware, malachite is always green. I love it. Something about the copper in it, I want to say. I'd look in my crystal book, but I actually gave it away. So I've got to get some more stock. Jane says, maybe I'm supposed to be a West Ham supporter, claret and blue. I suspect it might be a little bit deeper than that, Jane. Hopefully. Yeah, Martina, thank you. Yes, malachite, always green. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, Maria loves malachite too. It's one of my favourites. It is a nice stone. Mel loves garnet. Yeah, that's another pretty one too. The next one is mango calcite, and this one's all about self-love and acceptance. So that, I think, is really important. You've got to love yourself to be able to heal, and you've got to accept things to be able to heal. So that one's really good to work with. Jane, yes, malachite's related to copper. Yep, Ness says copper. I thought it was back somewhere in my brain, that kind of... I know these things sometimes. Debbie, last time I was in a crystal shop and bought a malachite, the lady said to be careful not to break it as it is poisonous. A lot of them you do have to be very careful in, particularly if you're thinking about making crystal water and things like that. Don't just drop a crystal into a glass of water and then drink the water, because a lot of them do leach out different chemicals and nasties, so you do have to be careful. Maria, not heard of that one. Yeah, mango calcite. It is. Yeah, I think I found that when we were out with the girls once on one of the trips. It's very interesting. Yeah, Xenia says, don't make crystal water with malachite because it can be poisonous. And Martina, toxic in raw form. Yeah, do be careful with the crystals. Do be careful with them. They're powerful in lots of different ways. Moonstone, another really good. I mean, the moon is all about emotions. So Moonstone soothes and heals the emotions. So that's a really good one to work with. I think with that one though, you're opening up your emotions. So you might want to be a bit careful with that one. Have a bit of support with you. Red Jasper is another one that's good. It brings a solid and down-to-earth energy, focusing on the practical things in life. In fact, I would probably work with Moonstone to open up your emotions, to soothe and heal, and then work with Red Jasper to bring you to the reality, the practical things in life. Susie, Moonstone's a favourite. I don't work with Moonstone a lot, I must admit. It's not one of my particular favourites. I'm more on the sun side than the moon side, but there you go. Lani loves Red Jasper. Yeah, I like Red Jasper. That's one of my favourites. Another one to work with is, I've only got a small piece here, Rhodochrosite, which I always have to look at when I want to spell it to see where the H's and the C's are. Is a stone of unconditional love and inner peace. So it's a little bit of a hippie stone, that one. Far out, man, that one. That's your hippie stone. And possibly one of the most well-known for healing emotions and healing your heart is rose quartz. That doesn't look very pink, but it is actually pink. It heals your emotions. It helps open your heart again. So it will heal and soothe, and then it will open you up to dealing with life again. So you know, rose quartz, a good all-rounder for all kind of emotional and healing and stuff. Very, very good one. And the last one, which I haven't got, which is on my list to get, Sugilite, or Sugilite. Brings support in times of grief and reminds you to be kind to yourself, which is a very good reminder. Within all of this, you have to be kind to yourself. Definitely have to be kind to yourself. Xenia finds rose quartz very soothing. Yeah, holding a rose quartz tumblestone, very comforting. Yes, it is, definitely. Hi, Melanie. Yeah, rose quartz is really, really useful. Very soothing, very, very soothing. Mel says Opal is really good for helping with the psychic and mental strength. Definitely. Maria, I don't connect well with rose quartz. It tends to like being left alone. Yeah, and that's where I come back to, you know, some crystals you'll get on with, others you won't. You know, it's just one of those personality things, I think. Jane, I love your unpolished crystals. Most of mine are tumblestones, but I think I'd like to work with natural crystals. They all have their own unique energy. I have got some of mine are crystals, some of mine are tumblestones. My Moonstone, the Jasper, they're tumblestones. I just happen to have a couple of odd pieces of rough ones. They all have their own unique and individual magic. And tumblestones are so cheap and easily available. They're brilliant to work with. So, you know, don't. It's interesting. All of them will have their own individual energy. So work with what you're drawn to, really. The other suggestion I have is a memory tree. You can work it in as part of a ritual. There is a ritual in the Back to Front Alice in Wonderland Curative Magic book. There is a full ritual which works the memory tree into it. It's about releasing your grief, but also about remembrance and a reminder that memories are to be treasured. Jane's cat Sandra. I love these pet names. Pets should have human names because it's brilliant. Jane's cat Sandra loves to be stroked with a rose quartz wand. Yeah, I think animals do respond, and children respond really well to crystals. Paul, hello Paul. Oh, sending much love over to Japan to Paul. Pocket Wi-Fi, good on pocket Wi-Fi. It's probably working better than mine is today, Paul. Very, very pleased you can join us, Paul. It's lovely to see your name pop up there. So thinking about memories, you could create a memory tree. It's up to you how you do it, but I suggest a spindly branch or several large twigs. You know this format, I'm sure you've seen this. Plant pot, stones, pebbles, sand, soil to fill the bucket. Stick your twigs or your branches in your plant pot or your bucket, fill it with sand or soil to make it stand up. So you've got a little tree, and we use these all the time for wishes, for in bulk, particularly tying wishes and things on, for Yule to try to tie bits and pieces on, but you can use it as a memory tree. So once it's all firm and standing up, you decorate it. So you can take pieces of coloured ribbon or wool and tie them onto the branches, string a bead onto some of them. You could tie photos onto the tree as well. This, for each ribbon you tie on, you remember a good memory. For each photo you tie on, it's about celebrating good memories and loved ones. This is a tree full of happiness. It's not about dwelling on sad thoughts. It's about rejoicing and celebrating life, those that are in it and those that have passed. So I think it's a good way of putting all your memories in one place. And you can add to it gradually. You don't have to throw it all on there at once. Add to it. Just an idea, really, just for remembering things. Put whatever you want on it, really. Decorate it however you want. So that's kind of my ideas for it all. And I think I'd like to reiterate that it is very personal. Grief comes in many forms. It doesn't have to be the loss of an actual person or an animal. It can be the loss of something from your life, a relationship, a situation, even a job, you know, what loss of any kind can bring grief to you. It's how you work to get through it, really. And as magical people, we have so much that we can use to help us through that, whether it is meditation, ritual, spell work, herbal teas, all sorts of things. We've got that spell kit, we've got that magic to help us through it all. We have that magical kit that we can use to help us through, to get through all of these things. Paul, love the idea of memory tree. Yes, it's a way of honouring loved ones. Jane, what's the significance of the purple wall hanging? This one. It's a Wendy Andrews, the artist Wendy Andrews, and it's the crone. It is an image of the crone. So that's what that one's for. Comments are all scooting up, but Tess loves the curtains. Thank you. Curtains are quite new, actually. Michelle, I went through major grief from the end of my 25-year marriage. Yeah, oh, unsurprising. That's not surprising at all, Michelle. Grief comes really with the ending or the loss of any kind of situation or thing, and it's about dealing with it. Know that there is never any time frame. You cannot put a time frame on it. You have to grieve in your own time. But we just remember that as magical people, we can use the skills and the tools that we have available to help. It's not going to wipe it out completely, nor should it, but those magical skills can help you get through it. Maria has Wendy's calendar this year. Yes, she does have some. She has some beautiful artwork. I have some images of hers as well as the wall hanging. But yeah, you've got to deal with it in your own time, really. But there are lots of things that we can do. Spell work, candle magic, crystals, herbs, all sorts of things to help us get through. And let's face it, our emotions, particularly if you're in the menopause, perimenopause, your emotions are all over the place anyway. But the emotions are what make us human, aren't they? So it's working out a way that helps you deal with it and helps you get through it. And you will. It's just working a way of doing it. So that's kind of it for me today. I apologise for losing the connection again. I'm running out of options to try, but we'll think of some more to get me a stable connection. But there you go, technology, huh? Maria, hang on a minute, have you moved again? No, I am still sitting in the same place, but it's a different, because I'm using my mobile phone as a camera instead of the webcam. It looks different. Jane, my daughter grieved lots when her marriage ended, but she's seen her ex for what he is, and that helps a lot. Plus, she's met someone absolutely lovely, and I've never seen her so happy. Good. We like happy endings. Well, happy endings with happy beginnings too, because it's all kind of continuous, isn't it? Moving around. So Maria, no, I haven't moved. I am still sitting in the same place, but it's just a slightly different angle because I'm using my phone. Because I thought if I use my phone, I might not lose the signal. I think we've had 3 webcams now. This is my phone, so there you go. If anyone's around on Sunday, this Sunday, 17th, I am doing a special talk, an online book launch for my book, Kitchen Witchcraft, The Element of Earth, 4 p.m. On the Moonbooks Facebook page, not this page, not my author page, it's over on the Moonbooks Facebook page, 4 p.m. UK time. I'm going to do a talk about the element of earth, so there'll be some magic as well. Link in the comments there, thank you. There'll be a talk about working with the element of earth and answering any questions you guys have, and I'll also be doing a book giveaway as well during the actual talk. So if you're free on Sunday, do join me for that. Otherwise, back here next week. We also have an online inbox ritual on the 31st of January over on the Kitchen Witch Facebook page as well. So if you want me to talk about anything particular on my Friday mornings, do message me. I'm happy to talk about, pretty much whatever you want me to, she says, within reason. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for hanging in there when my internet cut out again. Big hugs to you all. A very special mention to Paul, sending you lots and lots of healing energy and positive energy. Paul, hang in there. But thank you all, everyone. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will catch you all next week. Thank you so much. She says, wondering desperately how to finish. Take care, everyone.